Yes, welcome back to my YouTube channel, CK Sports. Clive Chaze is my name. Still in Morocco to see their readiness or preparations ahead of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. Right now, I am standing outside the Grand Stade de Marrakech, one of the stadiums that will be used for this competition, and one of the many stadiums here in Marrakech. But this one in particular is the one that will be used for the competition. African champions, the reigning champions, Ivory Coast, will be playing at two games at this venue. One of those games will be against Mozambique, and the other game, probably one of the biggest games of the competition, will be against Cameroon. So we are going to go inside, take a tour, and see what the Grand Stade de Marrakech has to offer. Well, this is the main entrance for some of the very, very important people who come for the games, or who will be coming for the games at this venue. Of course, they will be taking us through the tour, the officials of the stadium, and some officials of the Moroccan Football Federation. Well, after a briefing about the stadium, our journey officially starts now. We will be checking out the different sections or facilities the Grand Marrakech has to offer. Of course, the playing surface, the media tribune, the dressing room, the VIP section, all those. Like we did say, we are on a 7-day tour of the facilities that Morocco will be using for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. It is a 45,000 capacity seater. Yes, and this is the stadium from the VIP section. We'll just try to give you a 360 around the facility. We've been told it's one of, actually not one of, it is the best football facility in Marrakech right now. If you're a keen follower of African football, you realize that on so many occasions, every time we have the World Cup qualifiers or even the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, because you have countries that don't have stadiums that meet international standards to host international games of that caliber, most of them will find themselves playing games here in Morocco. So this is one of the facilities that usually is being used when games are going on. The LED screens already in place, of course, well demarcated. The bench is not yet here. It looks like they are working on them. Of course, amongst other things, trying to put final touches so that by the time the tournament starts from the 21st of December to the 16th of January 2026, everything is okay. Well, earlier on, someone was wondering of how many media guys are here. On this trip alone, I could say roughly around 50, but of course there are others that stayed at the hotel who will be doing another shift in an hour's time. But you have over 400 sports journalists, content creators on the African continent here for the 7 days, just to showcase what Morocco has to offer when it comes to preparing for the Africa Cup of Nations, a 24-team competition. And like we did say, they have a total of 9 venues and 6 cities, not 5, like I'd initially said. I was actually corrected in my earlier video that it is 6 venues. But also, they have organized it in a way that if you still follow African football, especially the Africa Cup of Nations, you usually have on a day like this, on a venue like this, you have 2 games happening. You have a game kicking off earlier and another kicking off later. It is not going to be the case for the Africa Cup of Nations, this particular Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. You're going to have 1 game played on a venue every match day. So on a day when you have 4 games happening, Those 4 games are going to be played in 4 different stadiums, not having 2 games played here, and then you have other 2 games are played in Tangier or Agadir or Rabat. So that is the other unique bit about this year's competition, not like the others that we've had in the past. Of course, after here, we'll go check out other sections of the stadium. We've been told this is the western section of the stadium, so they will continue to take us around and yes, get more information on when the stadium will fully be ready going into that Africa Cup of Nations. I'll try to get closer and probably give you a feel of what the playing surface has to offer before we go check out the other facilities, the dressing rooms, the media tribune, and all the others. There are, of course, probably the things that they felt didn't meet international standards, so they are being worked on. If you can see here, this is where the home bench will be placed. They're trying to work on it, just like it is this side for the away team. You can see that they are also trying to work on it so that they put something probably more permanent or just put the concrete before the dressing rooms can be fully installed. And by the look of things, they are doing away with a bit of what was happening here. And yes, this is the playing surface now. Ooh. Oh. By the look of things, it won't be changed. Still in the best condition.
Yes, guys, we have arrived at the incredible Grand Stade Stadium here.
And yes,
It's time for the Stars. Let's go.
what you see up there is the media tribune at the extreme top. So we'll try to get close, but I'll also try to give you another 360 view from just next to the truck here.
Oh, bro, I accidentally did it. It's when I turned it, I pressed it by mistake. Yes, guys.
Pardon.
Yes, guys, we have arrived at the incredible Grand Stade Stadium. New haircut.
Yeah, so we'll go check out the dressing rooms of this stadium here in Marrakech. Of course, this is the tunnel with very huge, spacious, usually. And like we did say also in our previous video that stadiums at this level at least must have at least a minimum of 4 dressing rooms, because there will be days when you have more than a game played here. So you need to accommodate everyone, not pushing one team out of the dressing room because you want another to get into the dressing room. But we'll go check out one of the dressing rooms before we get to see other facilities of the stadium. Now this is the dressing room of the away team. But of course, you'll notice that still under renovation. This is the office. Should be for the coaches. We'll try to get the dressing room itself. This is one of the other offices. We'll just have a sneak peek in there. And yes, this is one of the dressing rooms of this facility. I'll just try to stand in a corner here so that I give you a better view. Of course, during the tournament, like we did say, it will be looking cuter than this, well branded with the names and the numbers of the players, sometimes even with the pictures, depending on which teams are going to be playing. A TV for the coaches to try and show players the different tactics they want to approach the games. Of course, the big table here is usually full of stuff that players need, especially food, fruits, water, and all the likes. Usually, these screens are used by the coaches for tactical analysis and all that, but also while you're getting ready for a game, you could probably be following up on another game that is happening elsewhere. Sorry, we'll try to check out the washrooms. Jacuzzi. Sorry. The washrooms in place before the game, at halftime, after the game. Well, players usually have an opportunity to try and freshen up. So the latrines clean for people with disabilities. Probably have a technical member of the team who can't use these ones. They're also being accommodated here. Well, and so we'll go check out other places of this stadium. The massage room. Came in early, you need a massage. Well, the place is here that will be happening. Another office here. And yes, another route that leads you out of the dressing room. So you want to believe that the home dressing room and the away dressing room are a little bit similar. Still trying to find out what happens here. I'll probably find out. Hello, I need somebody to help me understand what happens here.
Okay, this is I'm not sure. I'm the doctor. Do you remember?
No, I know you are here.
This is the place where the players will warm up before the game. Indoor warm up place. It's very big, but
That's what I was wondering. It's very big. Looks
yes,
big.
not like the other stadiums. But you should know that after the African Cup of Nations, they will remove a big part of it to add more the vestiaire.
So is it going to be artificial turf or natural grass?
Sorry.
Is it going to be artificial turf or natural grass?
It will be the same, okay? Because players, when they warm up indoor, they warm up with only shoes, not shoes for football, not the same as in the grass. Okay, there are two sides, two main sides, and
Yeah.
you should know that there's four.
Yeah, there's also another one.
Yes, yes.
So what was here before this?
It was from the first day, from when the stadium was built.
It is the warm-up area, the inside warm-up area.
Inside warm-up area for the players.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank you very much, doctor.
welcome. You're welcome.
Well, actually, earlier I thought it was, but I just needed to be sure because still of late, international Leslie Angu from Cameroon. Usually, because sometimes the time allocated for warm up, some players feel it is probably not enough for them to do so. You'll have usually these areas where you'll have warm ups happening, and so that somebody can probably fully warm up. So when they come out to do the actual warm ups, Well, the borders are fully warmed up, so we'll also try to check out what happens here. I've been told this area here is actually the mix zone, where players do interact with journalists after the game. So we'll go check out the other facilities. Like always, my main interest is usually the media tribune, where we usually sit to watch the games. But we'll probably first check out the press conference room before we go check out the media tribune. I'll just give you a shot from this side where the cameras will be located. So this is the press conference room where you usually have the pre-match press conferences. The coach and the player chosen by any of the team will address the media before the game. And the post-match press conference where the coach, the player, sometimes the man of the match usually come to address the media. Of course, it is usually well branded with the press banner, bearing all the different sponsors and partners. So this is the view the coach and the player usually get when they do come for the press conference before games, but also after the game. Everything is set, just waiting for CAF to brand the area. The seats look comfortable too. Well, it can probably take up to 150 journalists if you ask me. So it can really accommodate a good number if there are people who are coming for the press conference. Doctor, try to take a seat. I want to see how comfortable the seats are. Yeah. From Uganda, doctor. Yeah. So you're comfortable? Yeah. Doctor, you're seated like VIP. You're seated like VIP. Well, usually when you have these sports facilities, you'll always be told that it is a no smoking facility. But I'm told this one here is actually the smoking area for people who want to smoke, but then they should not make life hard for others. You can see it has doors the other side and doors at this side. So you want to smoke, this is the area that people usually come to smoke, and you can literally enter and get out from anywhere. This is back to the mix zone, and of also the entrances that teams usually use. Actually, the smoking areas are quite. There's one there. There's one here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smoking areas have been put in place here. So we'll continue with our tour. I'm trying to find my way to the media tribune. We're trying to find our way to the media tribune with my Cameroonian brother, Leslie Angu.
Why are you looking for the media tribune? That's
Because that is
because that's our area of interest.
Exactly. That's
It's from there that we're going to tell the world.
That's my office.
Yeah. That's the point from which we will tell the world what's happening here in a few months.
But also, I always say that the media tribune is the best seat in the house. So
Yeah. Always.
let me see.
That's the safe exit from what is the
Oh, so these are the skyboxes actually. Should be through here because I see stairs, but the door is locked.
It's locked, I believe.
There's also here. It should be this door, but
This door also shows exit.
it is also closed. Oh, we found a lead. So
This is why signages are very important.
Very important. Of course, you believe by the time the tournament comes around, signage will be put in place.
That we can't
Oh, we are being told
no?
we can't go there, so probably another time. At least we viewed it from the stadium, and it looked ready. It looked fine. But yes, we'll get into one of the skyboxes. The skybox is usually the most executive. Excuse me.
I'm here for
The most executive and sometimes the most expensive.
Let's check the other one.
The most expensive, I should say, seating area for a football game. This is one of them. Of course, they'll have these bar tables and stools.
Roman Abramovich.
Exactly. They have the sofas where you come in early, halftime, after the game, or you can't stand the noise. Then you can't be able to watch the game on TV from here, while you also peep to see exactly what is happening at the stadium, while you order for some of the most expensive champagne and wine. Leslie, what wine do you take?
Wait. Straightforward.
So if you sat here, you'd be ordering that, depending on how many dollars you paid. Like,
For sure. Depending on how many people I'm sharing the space with.
how much do you think the skybox will cost during the AFCON, if you're to estimate?
It will cost as much as the value of this place.
Really? Yeah. Oh, it depends on which fixture. Cameroon, Ivory Coast. Here, how much will the skybox cost?
It costs even $1,000. Cameroon, Ivory Coast, the rivalry, the history, and everything that happened in the last two Africa Cup of Nations, because even in Cameroon, there was that banter between Cameroonians and Ivorians, and then even in Côte d'Ivoire. I think it's going to be sold out even before maybe match day -2. And if the general capacity is sold out, then you can imagine the situation of this reserved area.
The skybox. So of course, this is your area to watch the game, but in the event that you want to be part of the action, suck in the atmosphere, yes, you usually get out from here. And so there are seats. So this skybox can take up to 12 guests, because their viewing area of the stadium is 12 seats. Where we are, the seats are not there, so probably they are going to put new ones here. But at least you can see that the other skyboxes all do have their seats. The glass are usually bulletproof, so security is guaranteed. Probably they'll also try to put longer ones. And while we are here, yes, this is the view for the people who will be watching the games from this particular skybox. So you want to suck in the atmosphere, you will come here and suck in the atmosphere. You probably don't want to deal with the noise and all that. You go back and sit in your skybox. You've come in early. The game has ended. Cameroon versus Ivory Coast. Too much traffic jam. You don't want to drive in the jam and all that. You chill in your skybox as the traffic does loosen a little bit. So this is the Grand Stade de Marrakech, one of the 9 venues that will be hosting the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations. And the big one is Cameroon versus the defending champions, Ivory Coast. Actually, the defending champions are going to play 2 games from here. Their opening game, as they launch their title defense against Mozambique. Then Cameroon, Ivory Coast. Leslie, which day?
December 28th.
28th.
Yeah, December 28th. I mean, one of the best things that should happen before the year ends,
Prediction? Early prediction?
There will be fireworks.
Because I'll keep this. Leslie, early prediction. Cameroon versus Ivory Coast, December 28th, Marrakech Stadium.
4-1 in Yaoundé in 2014. 3-2 in Côte d'Ivoire in 2005. I think 4-1 in the AFCON in 2010, something like that. So it's always guaranteed goals whenever Cameroon plays against Côte d'Ivoire. It was one of the fixtures that started making waves from the moment the draw was conducted here in Morocco. So we expect excitement, big game. Expect big players to turn up for their nation. Sangare for Côte d'Ivoire. Frank Casey for Côte d'Ivoire, Abubakar, Zambo Anguissa, Carlos Baleba. And, it's going to be Carlos Baleba's first Africa Cup of Nations. He's the next big thing, so many say these days. So it's going to be his first Africa Cup of Nations. And that game is going to be his first big game in the Africa Cup of Nations. So I expect an exciting game, but an exciting group too, not just the game. Because when you look at the 4 teams, they are regular in the AFCONs, the recent AFCONs. In fact, all 4 teams were in the last AFCON. I think 3 of the 4 teams were in the business end, have been in the business end of the last 2 AFCONs, or all 4 even, because Gabon was in the business end in Cameroon, Mozambique was in the business end in Cameroon. I remember they were eliminated in the business end, and all of them are on course to make it to the FIFA World Cup. So it's a very, very interesting group. If you ask me if I'm the coach of that game, I'll think more about not losing than winning.
Well, let me give you an opportunity to sign out.
I think we're going to experience history in Morocco. AFCON never to forget. Not just this game, there are some big games, Boxing Day games, New Year Eve games, Boxing Day. It's never happened. It's never happened that we have Africa Cup of Nations tournament transiting into a new year. It's going to be holidays period, December. So I expect fireworks from Casablanca to Rabat to Tanger to Agadir, and why not in Marrakech?
Well, you heard it from Leslie Angu all the way from Cameroon. Clive Chaze is my name here in Morocco as we continue with our tour as they continue to prepare for the 2025 African Cup of Nations. Our next video after this one will be in Rabat. Rabat has about 4 venues of the competition, so we'll try our level best to check them out actually, because we're going to spend about 3 days in Rabat, so we'll be keeping you posted. Remember to subscribe, remember to comment, bring in that feedback, the criticism, because it does help us get better. Have a blessed day from wherever you're watching us from, and yes, I'll catch you again in the next video.